Welcome to Voices of Indianapolis, where we explore the narratives of innovators, collaborators, and communicators shaping our city. I'm Jeff Edge, your host on this journey. Join us as we uncover their strengths, glean insights into their views of Indianapolis, and unravel the qualities that make them exemplary role models. Through candid conversations, we aim to illuminate their impactful projects, collaborations, and communication efforts that are propelling our community forward. Together, we'll celebrate these influencers, fostering inspiration and dialogue to forge a stronger, more united Indianapolis. We are officially recording. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, glad to be here with you.
Pastor Jason, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jason. I'm the pastor here one of the pastors here at Cornerstone Lutheran Church. I specifically spend time in our Indianapolis location. My job is community engagement. So what I get to do is make sure that we are understanding the needs of all of our communities, not only here in Indianapolis, but all of our locations as well, that we're understanding the needs and how we can engage in ways that are helpful to our communities. What we want is that our neighbors know that Cornerstone is a safe place where they can turn if they need especially spiritual care. And we do that by through engaging in activities and things inside and outside of our building to make sure that neighbors know about us and that we're helpful to them.
Now, why on earth would I bring you on a podcast called Voices of Indianapolis, do you think?
Oh, that's for you to answer.
Okay. Well, I developed this little question set similar to Inside the Actor Studio with James Lipton. Did you ever watch that show?
No, I don't. I know of it, but I don't
He would
watch
do the Bernard Pivot questionnaire to just kind of get to know somebody. And since this is the first episode, can I start with the questionnaire?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I call this the Indianapolis 10 as written and developed by Jeff Edge. Okay, question 1, how long have you lived in Indianapolis?
A little bit of a hard question to answer. So I've lived here 3 years. I've been back in the city about 3 years, but I actually grew up here. I lived the first 18 years of my life here as well. So 3 years or 21 years, depending on how you want to do the math.
We'll count it as both.
Thanks.
Question 2, what is your favorite spot downtown?
Oh, gosh. So when we first came back, we lived in Fountain Square for a while.
Yeah, right on. Me too.
All the Fountain Square spots are good for me. I'm a big Upland fan.
Okay.
I love sour beer, so then they have the best sours, certainly in the city, if not the region.
I was very disappointed with their nachos.
Yeah, the food has not always, it's hit or miss on the food. Chili Water has good food.
Oh, okay.
The General Tso's chicken sandwich is
Get out of here.
It's one of those things that I wake up thinking about sometimes.
Fountain Square has such a lot of good food that my girlfriend and I make fun of Chili Water sometimes. Like, oh, we should go in there, right? And we haven't, but we've hit up every other spot on that block.
Well, it's time then.
Okay, we'll go. Say that again. The General Tso's
chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Okay, that answers possibly another question. Question 3 of the Indianapolis 10. Best place in Indianapolis to take a dog.
I'm laughing because I had when I married my wife, she had a dog. So I had a dog for 8 years, but we had a tough relationship.
Okay.
Best place to take a dog. I mean, Metazoa is awesome.
Yeah.
They have the great dog park. She was so old by that point that we never took her. But it looks like a really fun dog park. And you get a beer out of it, too.
The dog park at Metazoa is fascinating because I constantly see big dogs and little dogs just running in circles constantly. Like it's just constant. They just like a marathon, a ring.
Yeah, her main motivation at the dog park was to find the other humans who might give her a treat. So she did no running of any kind, just begging at other people's feet.
Okay, I consolidated question 4. What is the best seasonal activity? So you pick the season. What is the best activity that is a very seasonal activity? Okay,
so does football count as a seasonal activity?
Yes.
All right, I'm a huge Colts fan, have been since the Peyton Manning years. Best seasonal activity is... I love going to a game, but more than going to a game, I love just watching one in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
With some friends and some beer.
Yeah,
that's like the third time I've said beer.
Pastor.
I
know. Question 5. Who is making Indianapolis a better place?
One person?
Or a company?
Okay.
Or, an organization?
Yeah.
You could say Cornerstone if you want, since you work for them.
Yeah, Homer.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question.
That's why I hit it inside I didn't want to end on it or
Yeah.
begin on it, but it'll catch you
That's
off
why you
guard.
stuck it in the middle.
We're sitting here talking about tailgating football games, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden I get real ethical on you.
Yeah. So I'm one of the. This is maybe a controversial answer, but I'm a big cyclist. I love cycling.
Oh,
So
okay.
I would say, what's the name of the group that does the cultural trail? The Indianapolis Foundation, I think, is involved in it. Anyway, whoever put the cultural trail together, literally, in my opinion, best biking infrastructure maybe in the country.
That was a fascinating answer
Yeah.
I didn't know about. This is why we're doing this podcast. Tell me more.
So the cultural trail, number one, it's separated from the road.
Yep.
It's beautifully landscaped. It's got pedestrian and cycling. It goes to awesome places throughout the city. So I first, living in Fountain Square, it runs all the way through Fountain Square. But the cool thing is they keep expanding it.
Yeah.
It was all over downtown. It's now going up Indiana Avenue, so it gets some of the African American history of the city in as well. It's cool.
Absolutely.
Goes right by will go right by Madam Walker Theater. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful, well maintained, well kept. Makes for a good ride. So just win-win.
Man, you knocked me off guard because I love the cultural trail too. And I don't know if I told you this, but I'm looking into getting an e-bike.
Okay.
And so I've been studying, like, I'm a heavier person. Like, what kind of e-bike does a heavier person have to get?
There you
and
go.
all that. And I was thinking about, biking the cultural trail. And one of the things I appreciate about Cornerstone is there is a pretty big bike trail that goes on New York.
Yeah.
And it's a long way down. You're like, oh wow, it's separated from the road.
Separated from the road. It's
Yeah.
bidirectional. It's mainly pretty clean.
And that could be something that we talk about later on this podcast too. Is just talking about the Indianapolis and the bicycle movement, right?
Yes.
Is like we have the Indigo and the Red Line and all that, and just trying to get the cars off the road in Indianapolis, and that's a big spot for me. I'm car free.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to be.
Nice. I support that.
Yeah. Thank you. Question 6. Where should every tourist go at least once?
In Indianapolis?
Yeah. Greater Indianapolis area. Sneak stuff in there.
Yeah. So I told you that I grew up here.
Yeah.
I've not been back since I've been here, but I have so many fun memories at Holiday Park, over in like North Broad Ripple area. See, I was little, so I don't even know how to talk about where it is. Awesome playground, but also some really cool ruins. So there's something for adults, there's something for kids. Cool spot.
What sort of things did you do over there tell me more about the ruins?
Yeah, so I don't know what there are ruins of. Somebody else who's listening will know way more than I do.
I know almost nothing.
Okay.
So people are like, why don't you know that?
Yeah. But I think now they've got like a performance venue there. They do like Rock the Ruins, concerts and things. So don't know what they're ruins of, but really fun to explore and climb around on and that kind of stuff.
I may have been over there already, I think, and I'm just not I'm misremembering.
Yeah. The other one, and I don't know if I'm allowed to recommend things I haven't done myself yet, but
please do.
One thing that I really want to do, the city market has the catacombs tour underneath it. And I so badly want to do that. So if
Halloween's coming up.
There you go. Perfect time.
Yeah. I too want to do that. Maybe we'll go together.
Okay.
Question 7. What is a great date and or friend group activity in Indianapolis?
I have a 17-month-old, so I don't remember about dating.
Okay.
We don't go out. And or friend group activity.
What did you miss doing, I guess?
Or what would I like to do?
I would give anything to be able to do that again.
Lately, especially on a day like this, it's August now. It's nice. I would love to do the oh shoot, what are they called? The boat things in the canal where you pedal them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen those.
Yeah.
I've never done it and don't really want to, I guess. But
they look super fun to me. I did it as a kid and would love to do it again. Other great friend group activities.
While you're thinking about that, I guess it's kind of awkward because we take the dog walking down there all the time on the canal, and there's always just one couple that is doing the pedaling. Then it's never 10 couples, so it's just one
solitary boat out there
down there. Yeah, and so it's like that doesn't look fun to be.
Yeah,
the
maybe
only
I don't
want
to be that guy.
Yeah.
The other one that was it's very seasonal, but the Indianapolis or Indiana Historical Society has I forget what they call it, but they have like 90 Christmas trees decorated by various groups and things. So especially at night, it's just super fun to go and look at all the Christmas trees, and they turn the lights down, and very cool, kind of get in the spirit type activity.
Okay. That could also go with seasonal activities too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is all lumped in. This is my favorite part, and what I imagine will become everyone's favorite part, and a real sore subject, real controversial. This is all in question 8. This is a rapid fire. Okay, so it's 5 parts. Best foods of the Indianapolis area. Pastor Jason, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, best pizza in Indianapolis.
Oh gosh, I'm a big fan of the one down here. Do I have to be rapid fire about this? I can't produce the name.
You can take your time, I guess. But just know that 5 of them are coming.
All right, so Futuro is the name of it. I filibustered long enough to get the name.
Detroit style.
Love the Detroit style, yeah.
Yeah, that one's up there. I'd put that in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Best burger.
New place out in Irvington, Smash Burger.
Yes, I run a wrestling show. I co-run it with 5 other people, but we're right there in the Irving Theater building, so we go to Smashed Up all the time.
If we weren't in a rapid fire question, I would ask you what a wrestling show means.
Professional wrestling.
You run a professional wrestling.
I co-run. Okay. It seems arrogant to say I run it.
Do you wrestle?
No, I'm the announcer.
Awesome.
That's based on my podcasting. I'm play-by-play.
There you go.
I talk to Jeff Edge, the voice of Indianapolis.
Okay.
With Taylor McAllister, the talk of the town. He's the commentary.
Nice.
It's pretty fun. But what was the name of it? Smashed Up?
I think it's just Smashed.
I call it everything.
Yeah.
I call it Smashed Up. It might just be Smash Up. How many times have you been there?
4 now. Any time that anybody wants to have a lunch meeting, we're going there.
Do you get a Dole Whip every time you go?
I've never gotten one. I never think about it.
Wow.
So every time that I say, yeah, that's where we went. Oh, you got to get the Dole Whip. Never think about it the next time I'm there.
Interesting. I went for the Dole Whip. They said, we have Dole Whips. I said, I'll be going there.
Here I am.
Luckily, the burger was also incredible. So, and if I recall, it's fries and maybe onion rings. I think
they have onion rings.
I don't remember.
The fries are awesome.
Yeah, the fry. I remember the fries being very good, but that burger was outstanding. Best taco.
Best taco. I need help again.
Okay.
There's the new place in Fountain Square.
There's a new place.
Newish.
Oh.
It like changed hands. I can picture it. It's yellow colored. It might be called La Esquina, the corner. It's right next to Calvin Fletcher.
Is that a new place? Yeah, I guess that's been there for about...
Yeah, it's not new anymore.
It's probably been there for about 14 months. Yeah, I've been there. That place is pretty good.
Yeah, well, figure out the name and maybe put it in the show notes.
I think you're right. I think it's La Esquina.
Okay.
I think you got that right. Best chicken sandwich or pork tenderloin?
Can I revert back to my General Tso's chicken sandwich?
Yes,
please. Because it is so good.
That was from...
Chili Water.
Yeah, from Chili Water.
Man. And scandalous. Now we're getting scandalous. I am not a big pork tenderloin fan.
That's fine. I put it in there because people would yell at me.
Yeah, it's Indiana. You have to.
I can't get away with doing an Indianapolis podcast and not mentioning pork tenderloin.
Mm-hmm.
Best dessert. That's the last one.
Best dessert. You would think I would know this because I love desserts.
I was gonna say ice cream, best ice cream, but I was like, I'll do best dessert and keep it more generalized.
I have to answer all these?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll sit here awkwardly till I come up with a dessert. Let's see. The problem is I love all desserts. I've not really come across
you got
one
I
didn't.
More cheesecake, ice cream, you more brownie, what do you?
I like it all.
Yeah, me too. Donut.
Yes. All right. So I'm a big Rise and Roll fan. Okay. You knew that because I brought him. That's right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
Rise and Roll is the
first day of school. Pastor Jason brought 2 dozen donuts.
And you can't go wrong. It's they're like $1.50 a piece. They're delicious.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're cheap.
Oh my gosh, that's like what's the other bakery? Long's Bakery. You get some very cheap donuts, and I'm always a fan of donuts.
I'll eat them all.
Yeah, but even the bad donuts.
Even the bad ones.
If they've been sitting there all day and it's 5 o'clock and you're just trying to get rid of it, I'll take it. But that's Rise and Roll is you can't go in at 1 o'clock expecting to get a donut.
No,
they're sold out. They're
gotta
gone.
be quick.
Question 9. This one's going to be controversial. What's your favorite neighborhood in Indianapolis?
Really depends what I'm looking for. Some of them around here, like, oh shoot, I just lost it. Some of them around here, especially the older ones, are beautiful for walking in, for biking in.
Yeah.
So if I want a good ride, I like near East Side neighborhoods. Especially the north end of Mass Ave is really fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, we lived for a little bit in Twin Air, between Twin Air and Fountain Square, so partial to those neighborhoods just for having been there.
I was expecting you to say Fountain Square. I was gonna. I said I'll just keep listening. Eventually, you're gonna say Fountain Square. You're not putting that on there.
It's been so long with the baby since we've taken advantage of Fountain Square lifestyle that I think I've forgotten.
If you need a night out, go swing dancing at Fountain Square Theater. I think that is.
Okay.
I think they do it every other Friday, every other Thursday, something like that.
Swing dancing always looks awesome to me. I've never tried it, but it always looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. I learned the 6-step Lindy Hop.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Do I have to be skilled?
No.
Good. All right.
They spend an hour teaching you how to do it, and then they open the floor up to dancing, and they got like a band, and it's very Art Deco and just super cool. I fit in real well there.
I know, right?
Question 10, final question. What is your favorite Indianapolis experience?
My favorite Indianapolis experience. I'm back to my football game. Being in the stadium with 70,000 other people. So we last year went to the Colts Steelers Monday night game.
Okay.
Super fun. They lost the game, of course.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it wasn't close, but it was super fun. Awesome vibe. That might be high on my list.
Since we're asking a bunch of food questions, what'd you get to eat?
I don't know that I ate. So again, I had a beer.
I've heard the football game doesn't have the greatest food.
Not for what they want.
I lived in Los Angeles, and I had a whole Los Angeles Dodger like plastic hat full of carne asada fries. I don't think they have that at Lucas Oil.
Yeah. No, they don't have any carne asada fries that I'm aware of.
Bummer.
I didn't look too hard.
Well, congratulations. You successfully answered the Indianapolis 10. It's like Hot Ones, where you made it to the final wing, right?
All right.
What I wanted to talk about on this podcast was, it's called Voices of Indianapolis, and trying to give the community, I call this the community's podcast. Like, this is for all of you listening, and just finding all those avenues to get resources, to find out who the change makers are in Indianapolis. Like, who are the innovators, who are the collaborators, who are the communicators. I put on the quote earlier today when you were in here from Fred Rogers. Do you remember?
I can't read that far.
Okay. Fred Rogers.
I saw Mr. Rogers up there.
Yeah, of course. Mr.
Couldn't read the
Rogers
words.
is one of my all-time heroes. And one of the things that he had said that got very famous was, in times of trouble, when things are bad, you always look for the helpers, and you try and find, like, who are the helpers, something his mom always taught him, And I think as we look at the controversial climate and politics and everything that is having issues in societies. Like, I know we talk a lot about the issues of Indianapolis, but we don't ever really get a chance to talk about the good things that are happening in our city. Yeah. And I wanted to make you the first guest because, you have your hand in a lot of different things working for Cornerstone. And, we have a school down here, and you've done a really excellent job just helping us and being a part of the community. Yeah. And I wanted to talk about and give you a chance to just kind of highlight all the great work that you and Cornerstone have been doing, because I've seen a lot of it firsthand. Can you just start off with a list of all the things that you guys have your hands in, if you can?
Yeah. So, and actually, I love this because it gives me an opportunity to shout out some really good partners.
I've made a lot of friends since I've
been
here.
Go.
I've written down a lot of names of people who said, "Hey, I just want to help." A lot of people who want to help, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, and it's great that you phrased it this way. A big part of our strategy is partnerships, right? Yeah. So we work really closely with Shepherd Community Center. They host their middle and high school after school programs, some of their summer programming. They were in this building. Right now it looks pretty good, but they were in when it was things leaking and animals living in it, and really needed work. And they stuck with us the whole way through. So,
because you've been here for how long?
I've been here with Cornerstone coming up on 3 years, but Cornerstone's been in the building. By the way, New York and Rural Street, so near East Side. Been in the building about 5 years.
What was it before Cornerstone?
It's been a church for about 100 years. But the congregation that was here, St. Matthew Lutheran Church, the pastor was retiring, and they grown older and moved out to other parts of town, and we're kind of at the point where a change needed to happen. So that's where Cornerstone had been meeting in Fountain Square in a co-working space, and was approached again through partnerships to take over this space and do ministry here, and that's what we've been doing.
One of the things that fascinated me coming into this building is that it says it's Cornerstone Lutheran Church, but the actual church where service is just one of the floors, and it's a portion of the floor. And then you come in here and you say, wow, this really is a community center where there's a lot of group station here, and there's a lot of work that goes on here. There's little projects like the Little Timmy Project in here. And so it really is, it feels like a shelter for the community where there's a lot of different things going on here and people coming in and out throughout the day to do things. I meet a lot of new people.
We try to think about it in terms of, we do have Sunday service here, but Sunday is one day of the week, right? So we try to really focus on what happens here throughout the week and how can we be useful to our neighbors, be helpful to our community. How can we make it a place where people do come because they find something they need here? And what happens on Sunday flows out of that, kind of not the other way around.
Yeah, can you talk more about Shepherd? I guess you wanted to start there because they have a lot of tutoring services and they offer all these different things, and people didn't know they were there. And they talk about, having government sponsored, snacks and tutoring and services and all these things. And it's a very low cost to the community.
Yeah, it's a great after school program at very low cost, even to the extent that they pick kids up from the schools. So it's easy to get them here. They do a lot of cool stuff, and they are in the process of, I don't want to say revamping, but going in the direction of helping students think about entrepreneurship. They had a really cool entrepreneur kind of question and answer series that they did last year during the school year.
Wow.
They have connections where they bring speakers in, where they send students out on kind of career exploration. They helped at a farm during the summer, which sounds awesome. I'm hard work, but what a cool experience. So they really do a lot to expose their students to all sorts of cool opportunities. Honored to be a part of hosting them here. You mentioned Little Timmy Project. If we can pivot in that direction.
Yeah.
So the Little Timmy Project is awesome. I actually came to know about them through when I was in Fountain Square. I would bike here to work and stopped at Calvin Fletcher Coffee quite a bit. Calvin Fletcher is pretty cool, and they donate their tip money to local organizations. And 1 month they were featuring as their partner for that was Little Timmy Project. So reached out to them. They came with a very specific need, which was helpful. They said, we need space for what they call the Little Mom Shop. The way Little Timmy works is, I don't need to go deep into the story, but the founders of the organization came to know that Indianapolis, Marion County specifically, has an abnormally high rate of infant mother mortality.
Wow.
Largely due to access to care or lack of access to care. So they started, with what they call the Little Mom Stop, which is a kind of retrofitted camping trailer that is set up to offer or to bring health services, consultation services to underserved zip codes. So that's the health component. What they also do is they call it the Little Mom Shop. And that's what they host here at Cornerstone, which is an opportunity for new and expecting mothers to get formula, diapers, clothes, kind of all the stuff that it takes to raise a healthy baby. It's a no questions asked philosophy. If you need it, you fill out the form, you make an appointment, take what you need. So I love that. They said they needed one room, and so we gave them a small room. Now they have 4 of them. The reason I'm excited about that is because I think they've served well over 1,000 people in the 2 years that they've been here and growing. For us, that really aligns with our values. We want to be life affirming, but not in a political way, not in an overbearing way. So to be able to essentially, I look at that as kind of putting our money where our mouth is, right? If we're going to be life affirming, if we're going to encourage people to choose in that direction, then want to be able to support an organization that makes that possible.
Yeah.
That's, I think, especially in the current political climate, that's really important for, again, new and expecting mothers to have the resources they need to raise the child.
And I talked to Leah, who works over there. I think you and I talked about, I think
you talked to somebody,
certainly. And they had talked about a specific issue they were having, so correct me if you know it. It was either because we wanted to get the kids over there to volunteer and help organize things, and I think it was either they don't get enough donations or they don't have enough mom shoppers who shop. Do you remember which one it is?
It would certainly be donations. From what I can tell, they have no trouble with mom shoppers.
Okay.
Plenty of shoppers. I think, as I understood it, they had maybe a donation partner that has stepped away or something along those lines. A couple ways to donate. You can, by the way, check littletimmy.org is their website. That'll tell you all about how to donate, what they'll take. You can donate here actually at two of our Cornerstone locations. Here at New York and Rural, 2837 East New York. Donation drop off there. And then if you're on the north side, in our Fishers location on 116th and Oleo, the first Tuesday of the month is a donation drop-off day. So check the website, what they'll accept. It's pretty broad, but if you want to contribute to that, that's the way you can. Two of the ways you can do it.
Since we're pushing people to get out there, and hey, here are some ways that we can help, and if get some announcements out there. One of the things that fascinates me that I think we talked a little bit about off podcast eventually, I think I asked you about it, was there's showers here.
There are showers.
Is that something that people can take us up on at some point? Do we have the facilities if somebody needs to get off the street and get a hot shower or something like that? Do we have access to that?
So I'm going to answer that with a qualified yes.
Okay.
One of our philosophies, one of our values is we call it lean toward yes, culture of yes. Yeah. So we want to be looking for ways to say yes. It is a communal shower with not a lot of separation or privacy, that kind of thing.
Sure,
so
yeah.
We'd have to be careful about how to bring that in, how to make that happen. But
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility
that we could work
The
on.
other thing that we've explored, and this is something we've explored in partnership with Shepherd, is not so much showers, but how do we make available laundry facilities?
Yeah, you were talking in the Q&A about laundromats.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, wow.
So, and you'll hear this later on, but 95% rental community. We also know it's an increasingly there's an increasing number of homeless people in the neighborhood. So again, a place to wash some clothes could be really, really valuable.
Yeah.
So that's something we've looked into for sure, and hoping to get that into our longer range, our 3 to 5 year plan.
It's something I think a lot about too, where it's how do we help people get those jobs and having suits and having showers and being able to go into resumes. I've always thought about it, and I don't know if you've heard this, but they go, it's actually very expensive to be poor because you're like, I can't afford a suit right now to go in. I can't afford a shower to go get a job interview.
And not only is it financially expensive to be poor, but so one of the students asked me about what were the things that shocked me. The thing that I came to notice is not only is it financially expensive to be poor, the way I talk about it is it takes so much mental bandwidth.
Yeah.
How do I? The car broke down and not to figure that out, and I work a second job, and so what about the kids, and what am I gonna do for dinner, and it just takes talk a lot about the time tax as well.
Yeah.
Just in terms of I would have conversations every day. The SNAP benefits come on the debit card, but then the machine that reads the debit card doesn't work right, and they're delayed by 3 days, and now I have to go and talk to this or that person and make sure I'm getting and these are not things I have to do, right? My paycheck just comes. I don't have to come and go and stand in line somewhere and make sure that I'm getting what I was planning to get.
I noticed at the grocery store where hey, your card got declined. Oh, there's something wrong with the chip. Don't worry. I got another one.
2 others.
Yeah, I got another. Oh, if that doesn't work, that's okay. I got some cash. How embarrassing it is sometimes to go, sorry, I can't afford to buy this. That was always something I dealt with in my earlier years.
And it's outside of my control.
Yeah. I also thought about partnering with the East Washington Branch Library, where we talk about. I do notice some unhoused individuals in there. Is there, can we get something going where kids come in and write resumes and help them there, and then they come over to Cornerstone and
they have a fantastic computer setup over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very impressed. But getting some sort of job interview program going where they, we are the people to come see in the community if you need some help with all that stuff. I thought that would be a really good project that we can partner on. I wanted to talk, I'm glad you brought up Little Timmy Project. I also wanted to talk about Cornerstone has a really good produce program where you have a farm and I talked to Dave maybe, and they talked about how they donate 95% of their produce and they're a nonprofit.
What are they doing with the other 5?
I have no idea. Maybe eating
Pretty sure
it or
they donate
something.
all of
But
it.
how much insight do you have into the agricultural program that Cornerstone has going on?
Yeah, so that's something that happens at our Fishers location. We are looking to expand that to we have Eagle Creek location as well on the west side. In both places, quite a bit of acreage, and some guys who they really started more because they like they like to grow things, but more than that, they like the kind of engineering challenge of how to grow things. Um, and so how do we make use of the land? How do we make this or that thing grow here that might not otherwise grow here? How do we amplify the yields or whatnot of what we have? They love all the kind of the engineering of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it goes. I'm trying to think what the number was. I think it was around 5,000 pounds that they grew last year, and they're on track to at least match that, if not exceed it. All of it goes to, I don't know why he told you 95%. All of it goes
I might have heard it wrong.
all of it goes to local food pantries, really throughout the greater
You probably
Indianapolis
said 100%,
area.
but I was just hedging my bets.
There you go. Yeah, at least 95. Um, so good relationships with food pantries, even as far out as McCordsville, Fortville. So greater Indianapolis area. Here in the neighborhood, they've supported Westminster, has a pretty good food pantry just down the block from us. Very recently have started to do that directly here at Cornerstone. And been cool to have the students involved in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it was they were standing outside passing out produce. What was it, Thursdays? They're going to start coming regularly. Do you have the
Thursday
day on that?
afternoons, yeah. 12:30 to 1:30. Well, no, 1:30 to about 3.
At our Cornerstone Lutheran Church on
Yep.
2837 New York.
East New York.
Yeah, and what I found fascinating was that they were frustrated because people didn't know that they were there, so they were trying to give away all this fresh produce. You know, how many people go to farmers markets or things like that? Like, I can't afford all these. You know, I
Would
can't
stand in
these
line
snow
for it.
peas, you know. And sure enough, over here they were throwing carrots at people, and people didn't know that they were there, and so
Or that it was free.
yeah, that it was free too, which takes me to my favorite part about Cornerstone is the donation box outside, because the kids have been very taken by this idea that it's so easy to go out there and put something in there for someone who very badly needs it. Can you talk about the process of building that? How long has that been sitting there?
So I know nothing about the process of building it, and the reason is that also was a partnership opportunity for us.
Oh, wow.
One of our members saw on Instagram a post from a group called Little. I can't remember if it's Little Free. I think the name of their organization is Little General Store, and these boxes they call Little Free Pantries. So she saw a post that said we're looking to install another of these pantries in a basically under a food desert area and underserved zip code. Passed that to me, and is this something we could do? And I was really impressed with that. I'm the type of person who needs to be reminded to please ask other people before you charge ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I put it, yeah. I put it to our facilities team. Can we do this? Very, very impressed with they latched right onto it and got involved in the process. And like 3 days later, this thing was installed. So I think it was built. There's a sign on there. I think it was built by FFA, Future Farmers of America, by this other group, Little General Store. So that's how it came to be here. But our Cornerstone members have really had a good time stocking it, sending things here to be put in the pantry, and it's great to have the students that I think 3 times a day they're out there now.
They're fascinated by it because
Yeah.
it makes it so easy for them to help and contribute that now they've turned it into it's a scientific observation where they learn what will people like, what will they take, what won't they like.
They're doing that.
Yeah.
So I asked them when they started doing it, pay attention to. So what we want to do is make sure that we can fine tune the offering to the best. Early on, we recognize that it's one thing to have canned goods, but if you don't have a can opener, if you don't have a source of heat, it really limits what you can actually eat, what you can actually use.
Yeah, they're very thoughtful about spoons and things. As we have to have enough spoons, and it's been a interesting life lesson for them too, because the way that we order lunch around here is, hey, what do you want your lunch for today? You want the salad? You want the barbecue chicken sandwich or the pizza?
Which of the 4 options?
Yeah, or do you want the
Yeah.
PB&J? And the kids always make the wrong mistake where they go, oh, I want the pizza. But then they realize, like, oh, the pizza was in a plastic bag and it's not nearly as good. The salad's fresh. They pass up on all those things. So we had oranges, right? And the kids are like, I ain't eating an orange. And then they see that oranges are some of the most popular things that we put in the donation bin. And they're just like, how could these people like these things?
Why
that
do they want these so bad?
Yeah, we're just willing to throw these away. And what you realize is when people have nothing, like, I just want a nutritious, juicy orange that's flavorful and has all these vitamins. And it's like, do you want this little plastic baggie of pizza? No. Just watching unhoused individuals take towards the things that these kids are not interested in, and it's really given them a lot of perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I hadn't thought about that. But you're right. The fresh stuff does go really quick.
Yeah. Ron Finley, the gangster gardener, always said, if kids grow kale, kids eat kale.
Maybe I should have grown kale then.
Are there any opportunities that you or Cornerstone's looking forward to capital? You talk about community partnerships. Is there things that you're looking for that the greater Indianapolis community could possibly partner with you on? Are there dream partnerships?
Oh man, always. The one that we're working toward right now. Earlier on, talking with the students, we talked a little bit about the music program, the music studio.
Yeah.
The goal there is we know that a lot of young men, but young women as well. They come to us with words that they've written, lyrics that they've written that they want to put some music behind and make kind of their demo, their single. We're happy to do that, and they feel really good about it. One thing that's really cool is often what they write about is their trauma.
Yeah.
So it can be even a cool trauma processing opportunity. Yes. I learn more about these young people through that 2 hours than I do in 2 years of knowing them, because they're speaking things that are so real to them. So that's what we do. What we want to do with that is to use that as more of a career development opportunity to expose those participants as they're making their single, to be able to say, this point in the process, here's what I'm doing. I'm mixing these levels. I'm doing this. I'm listening for this or that thing. By the way, if you got really good at that, someone would pay you to do it. Okay, next step of the process is this. By the way, if you were really good at that, somebody would pay you to do it. And we're in the process now of developing that sort of deeper training program. So what we really need is people who are musically inclined, who know a little bit about recording industry, who may have those connections. The ideal piece there would be that we could then help those people go right into an apprenticeship, an internship, some work experience. So what we really need is people who, like I said, know about the music industry, who are connected there, who may have those opportunities, who could come alongside and be we have plenty of encouragers, plenty of people who can walk along and cheer them on. We really need people who know how to do this.
Yeah.
who can impart some actual hard skills.
I once taught the granddaughter of Quincy Jones.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get Quincy in here.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, if Quincy's listening.
I don't know if he's coming to Indianapolis, but bless them all. Is there anything else that you want to highlight, or anything that you want to reach out to the greater Indianapolis community?
No, I would just say we're here and we're excited to partner. So
yeah, come get some food. Come make some donate. You can always make some donations.
Drop something by the box.
Bin.
That's right.
Drop something by the box. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you donate things to the Little Timmy Project.
Yeah. And if any of your listeners heard something, if it sparked something, and you want to see what a partnership might look like, definitely open to the conversation.
This is the Q&A portion of the show where we turn it over for our students to ask questions.
How did you personal experience in the past seeing the work you're doing the community?
How did my personal experience in the past influence the work that I'm doing?
Yes.
So before I was here in Indianapolis, I actually grew up in Indianapolis, but my first work experience was not here. I spent 5 years in Brooklyn, New York, and I worked in a community that was multicultural. It was a lot of a Puerto Rican and Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican and Dominican community, which yo hablo español. I speak a little Spanish, so that was fun for me. But it was also a very low-income community, which is not the way that I grew up. So that was a new experience for me. But lots of those experiences, being able to understand people whose life and challenges are different than mine, people who struggle in ways, we all struggle, right? But people who struggle in ways that I did not struggle. A lot of that experience I was able to bring here, and to understand how to meet people where they are, let them tell me about their needs rather than sort of assuming I know what the needs might be. And that's a posture that we try to maintain here as well.
So, how exactly did you get from high school to your first job experience, and then how did you get from there to here? Like, why exactly did you come here as well?
Yeah, so there were a lot of what I would say accidental stops along the way, actually. And I'm saying that specifically to say that if you don't quite know where it is you want to go, that's okay, especially right now. Um, one of the accidental stops that I had along the way was actually one of the most formative experiences for me. I spent about a year after I graduated college. I sort of knew I wanted to be a pastor, but I was dragging my feet and running away from it and trying to do my own thing. And along the way, I fell into a Spanish interpreting job in a hospital, mostly hospital setting. And that was an experience that reminded me there are people, when you do a Spanish interpreting job in a hospital, especially in the emergency room, you end up being there for 6 or 7 hours. And so it was a good opportunity to talk to people and to understand their stories and hear their struggles. And that's what finally pushed me into doing this pastor work. So the stops I didn't plan for were the ones that were most influential for me. How did I get from high school to where I am now? The sort of basics of that question. I had to have a college degree, so I started studying with the plan. I started studying psychology with the plan to go to law school. And somewhere along the line, I decided that was the thing I had liked in high school, arguing and debating and things. But somewhere along the line, decided that wasn't the way I wanted to spend my career. So then I had taken theology classes just for fun. Decided to uh, pursue that more, which meant that I wasn't really that employable when I finished. So I graduated college and I applied for 42 jobs. I got 2 callbacks and 0 job offers. Um, and again, I'm saying that for you, that you may find yourself in that situation where you get a lot of no's. That's okay. Um, that's the point at which I decided I have to go. I want to pursue a little bit more of this ministry thing. I got that Spanish interpreting job while I was doing that. And so then to be a pastor, I had to have 4 more years of school. It's a master's degree, but it's a 4-year master's degree that includes an internship opportunity in the 3rd year. That's how I got to New York. And that's how I realized I really like it there and wanted to go back there. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
For the most part?
Yeah, for the most of it, yeah, that was answered. One of the things I am curious about, how did you get to PPHS specifically? Like,
Actually, PPHS came to me. You're asking how this partnership came together?
yeah. How did the partnership come together?
Yeah, this actually came. Some of you, your coaches are grinning because they know. This partnership actually came through another partnership that we have. So you guys know about Shepherd Community Center, who runs the after school program here in this same space, and some connections through Shepherd. They're in our building because they knew that Cornerstone was looking to share space. And we've had a relationship with them for about 4 years now. They've been doing the after school program. So when PPHS was looking for space to host the micro school, they went first to Shepherd, who referred them on to Cornerstone. So actually the partnership, part of the reason that the partnerships are valuable to us is that they actually breed more partnerships. We actually get more connected in the community as we connect into the community, if that makes sense.
So, sorry, I know, third question.
You're good.
One of the things that did pull my attention was you had said when you had gotten to like a more kind of like a poor area of town, you weren't too used to that because I guess you had a little bit of wealth growing up.
I didn't grow up
how
that way,
much of,
right?
how much of a shock was that to you?
So I'll say it this way. It wasn't a shock in terms of a lot of people worry about safety and afraid of. I wasn't afraid of any of those kind of things. It wasn't a safety concern for me. But I talk a lot about, for example, neighbors who would come by the church, and if they didn't get $45, their lights were going to get cut off. Um, that's not a lot of money, right? $45 to have that be the difference between we can make the light bill this month or not. That's the thing that was shocking to me, was the kind of level of need and how even really relatively small expenses can become a really big deal really fast. That was the shocking part.
Yeah, is that like one of the main reasons you decided to start helping a little bit more because you saw how much people were struggling?
Yeah, a lot of what guides our work, and this is why we're really excited to have PPHS involved. The education that you all get and the foundation that it gives you, Ideally, will help make sure you're never in a situation where $45 makes the difference. What we want is to do things that help people make sustainable change, right? We actually have a pretty significant, we do a lot of assistance, I give a lot of gas cards, a lot of Kroger cards. We pay utility bills, and that's great. Sometimes people need that. But what we don't want is that month after month they have to struggle in those things. So what we try to do is to help two things. Number one, we want to prepare people for sustainable opportunities. Number two, I want everybody here in this community to have this. You mentioned this already, that I had opportunities in my life that other people don't have. I've been able to do exactly what I want, live exactly where I want, and make a comfortable living while I do it. I want everybody else in our community to be able to, I would say, flourish in the way that I have as well, in the way that they're designed to. So that's what we try to go for.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's like the last question I had
All right.
so far.
Yeah, well done. Cool shirt too. You guys have seen a little bit the music studio that we have around the corner. By the way, you're welcome to use that during your club time. What we have going there is the opportunity for young people such as yourselves what we found is that a lot of young people they write lyrics. Maybe some of you write some lyrics and appreciate the opportunity to put some music to those lyrics and make a single, make a demo out of it. That's what we do over there. What we want to do is take that one step further. And this is modeled after the experience of one of our worship leaders who said he always was interested in music, but he always knew he wouldn't be a rock star. He was never going to be a professional musician. The reason he does worship leading is because that allows him to make a comfortable living in a music adjacent career. So what we want is to offer the opportunity for young people who have a musical interest to understand that process and become skilled in that process of how to make music, so that they also can plug into those music adjacent careers, whether that's working in a studio doing some editing work, maybe it's working in a performance venue doing sound. I don't even know enough how to speak about it, right? Sound levels and live sound, that sort of thing. But there's lots of opportunities for people who are good at that to pursue their passion, have their passion, but also to have good work opportunities in there as well. The reason I say I hope that will be a transformative one for us is because as I look around, there's nobody else really, certainly in the city or in the church world, who's kind of doing that. So I'm very hopeful for the directions that could lead to. How do I stay motivated? Because there are times when it gets pretty tough. One of the things that I find is when I'm kind of up there upstairs by myself, when I'm behind the keyboard, and sometimes that has to happen in any job that we have, right? There are times when you just have to kind of buckle down and get the work done. You guys know that in school too, right? There are times when you just have to buckle down and get the project done. What I find though is that the more that I do that, I can literally feel my mood kind of going down, my energy, my engagement. So what I try to do with that, and this is again why I'm really glad you guys are here, the more that I'm engaged with people and talking face to face with somebody, that's what charges me back up again. So the thing that I do to try to stay motivated and engaged is be as face to face as possible and talk directly with people in the community or in our building or beyond, who we're trying to serve, and that helps charge me up. How do we encourage collaboration and cooperation? So I heard an interesting thing one time, that when somebody responds with a good question, you've heard this on TV a lot. I'm filibustering. You've heard this on TV, that when someone answers with a good question, apparently that's a uniquely American thing to do. People in other cultures, other languages don't do that. So the whole podcast that I listened to is like, why do we say that? But it is a good question. One of the things that I always, and some of you in your pre-interview questions, I talked to you a lot about how we haven't been around a lot. Cornerstone has been here in this neighborhood about 5 years. Every organization that we partner with, and PPHS is probably similar to this. Every organization we partner with, they do incredible work. They have large budgets. They do a lot of good services. They have awesome stories to tell. They engage clients and communities in really good ways. But all of them started really, really small. They've all been around 20, 30 years, and they all started really small. So for us, what that reminds me of, the previous question about how do I stay encouraged, one of the ways is reminding myself of that, right? We've only been around about 5 years, so we don't have a lot to offer just yet. Some of you asked me yesterday why we don't do more. It's because we're still in that learning phase. All these organizations start by starting small and talking to people and learning about needs directly. We're still in that learning phase. So one of the things that we try to do, because we don't have a lot to bring to the table always, is we offer the resources we have. Um, in large part, that's our facility, that's our building. And so that's why you see that we have a lot of community partners here. Not only PPHS, but Shepherd uses our building, and Little Timmy Project that you guys have engaged with a little bit. We invite other Outreach Indiana and other partners in to use our facility from time to time. So one of the ways that we try to encourage collaboration is by being the convener of groups. That's one thing we can bring to the table. We have a space to offer, and we can kind of bring people all in the same room that way.
Could you describe a moment that validated your decision to pursue this path of community-focused work?
Yes, so many that come to mind right now. Um, I am validated anytime that someone receives help that they need. Uh, so I'll tell a story. Is it okay if I tell from past experience? Sure. Okay, so I'll tell a story that happened to me in Brooklyn. Um, one of the things that we did every year at my church in Brooklyn was we would host a block party. Um, and at one of the years we had about 200 people there. Really fun, great food. We would provide like the meat. The church provided the meat, and the neighbors provided other kinds of side dishes and things. So very cool. That was on a Saturday. The following Sunday, a lady came in, and she came into the church service, and I asked her the question, kind of, what brings you here? That's a question that I ask people a lot when they come. What brings you here? She said, I needed some spirituality, I needed some care, and I knew the good things that you all do for the community. She had been at the block party. She says that I introduced myself and we talked, but I don't remember it. Probably introduced myself to 200 people. So I don't remember her being there, but she remembered it. And when she needed a place to go, what it turned out was she had been diagnosed with cancer, pretty severe, pretty aggressive cancer. And when she needed a place to go for encouragement, for comfort, for support, she knew of the good things that we did. So those are the kinds of stories that really, to use your word, validate the work that we're doing. As I said, we want our neighbors to know Cornerstone is a safe place, a caring place, where they can turn if they need to.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Nat.
What initiatives or changes do you see as crucial for the city's future development and well-being?
I'm going to speak specifically to our Inglewood neighborhood, but this actually applies to lots of neighborhoods throughout the city, maybe even some that you all live in. One of the things that we've seen here over the last 6 to 10 years, we'll say, is the neighborhood is changing. You've heard the term gentrification, right? That means wealthier people are moving into the neighborhood, generally younger people, people who have not been here before. Our Inglewood neighborhood specifically, whether you know it or not, at least historically, has been about 90% rental units. That's changing then as other people move in. The reason they're coming is that they like the downtown lifestyle. They want walkable neighborhoods. They like the cool coffee shops and those kinds of things. Gentrification has pluses and minuses. The neighborhood, statistically, neighborhoods become safer as they gentrify because the police pay closer attention to them. They're more on top of things. Everybody benefits from a safer neighborhood, right? New types of businesses move in, grocery stores and things that wouldn't have previously been in the neighborhood before. So everybody can benefit from that. The downside, the challenge, is other types of businesses move out. So one of the challenges we face in our neighborhood right now is there's no laundromats. So if you live in a rental property, where do you do the laundry? The other challenge is property values go up, rental prices go up. So we see lots and lots of people every day, most days. People come in and they say, struggling to pay this bill or that bill because the rent is going up. The lease is up in October and we can't afford the new rent that they want. So we're seeing lots of people that get displaced from the neighborhood because they can no longer afford to live here. That's the downside of gentrification, of neighborhood change. So one of the challenges that's going to be crucial, especially for our neighborhood, but throughout the city, is the availability of affordable housing. There's lots of challenges around how to make that happen, but that's going to be crucial for us as we go forward. The other challenge that for us as a community organization, and you didn't ask this, but I've talked to other community organizations about this as well. The people that they serve are being pushed further and further out toward the east side specifically. The people they serve are being pushed further out, and the people who are now in this community don't need those types of services. So what does it look like to be a community service organization in this community as it changes? What does it look like to be a church, especially for us as we're primarily focused on meeting the needs of those who are lower income in our community? What does that look like as different types of people move in? What role do connections and networking play? And I'm going to every advantage that we have, every opportunity that we have has come to us through a connection. I told the story earlier of how you all got here was through a connection that we had. How we got the person who runs the music studio was through a connection with one of our other partners. Everything that's gone well, everything that's bearing fruit has come through the connection of another person. And I don't mean that to say we're not doing anything on our own, only simply that connecting together is really, really valuable. The best thing that you can do, if you have a dream, if you have a passion, if there's something that you want, Coach Edge mentioned internship opportunities and future careers. Best thing you can do is tell everybody you can what you're interested in, what you're looking for, because somewhere out there, and I'll even broaden this. We talked about my career experience and how I got here. I have never, this is going to sound really bad, I have never gotten a job that I interviewed for. Every job that I interviewed for, I did not get. Every job that I do have had in my life has come through someone that I knew. Even this job and the one previously in Brooklyn came through someone that I knew. And I said to another person, I really like it here. I'd really like to stay here and be doing work here. A month or so later, got a phone call. There's this opportunity. Are you interested? The Spanish interpreting job. I went to an interview, but I didn't even do the interview because the person interviewing me was connected with someone else that I knew, was connected with the college that I graduated from. Every job that I've ever successfully had was through a connection with someone else. So the networking piece, the connecting piece, not only is it valuable for us in our work, valuable for you all as you move forward. And by the way, you can leave this in or not. I want to be that one of those connectors for you. One of the things we really want, we have a huge network of people. There's like 4,000 of us. And so if there's something that you're interested in, we probably know somebody who does that or who could point you in that direction. So don't hesitate ever you find me upstairs. Don't hesitate. We'll see what we can do.